It is much cooler for a real estate agent or realtor around to start vlogging and showing their behind the scene of the whole business, because often people do business with someone that you barely know anything at all. Why not to create a community and sense of connection? Just for example, got some property to show today, but look how sometime in San Diego, La Jolla, the weather is foggy. It is not always sunny. And oftentimes, if you don't see the behind the scene, you don't see the weather around, you don't see the environment, what make you trust the agent to tell you about the local if you don't have any connection within them? And by now it's 8:51 and I already got an hour of reading the Steve Jobs, because reading in the morning in the beginning, it really just set my mind clear and build up my inspirational as well as entrepreneurial mindset. It is so important that I kept learning, keep reading, and build up a certain business, or even have more conversation, connection in between client and me. Because sometimes just talking about the same book, for example, I might have read Day Trading Attention by Gary Vee, and then you might have been one of the fan, and there's somehow that we just have a lot of connection to talk about, because in many cases, marketing could go in many different ways, and often you market this way, I might market the other way, and we might compare our result, we might share our experience, and which lead to more conversation going, such as going out to a networking opportunity or even an event when we get to talk to each other and build up a closer relationship. And what's even funnier is that most real estate agents, they like to do a lot of their work, such as circle prospecting and then checking in with all of their clients and stuff on a database or CRM in the morning, which is something I usually don't do, because I feel like people just avoid the text in the morning and simply no one reads them, because you just started off your morning, you start getting spam already. How annoying would that get? Instead, I do it at night. So it's either you see it first thing in the morning, you just definitely looked it away, annoyed it, avoid it, or whatever, look at it later in the day, or you see it right before you sleep. So it's really like a betting thing and a time catching thing I do personally. However, somehow it's not been the greatest, but it's all about testing and optimizing the best of the best. And if I wasn't even vlogging or telling you any of that, you probably wouldn't know how my days go, where I would simply start off in reading and then get into maybe some video editing and then catch up with all my social media content and stuff. Make sure I gotta keep updated, because when I want to build a community around and I want to have a group of people that constantly that I could keep updated on, for example, Secret Jam and housing, all of that, I gotta make sure I post it on Instagram, track more people, drive more attention and more following sight into my community, and then I share my valuable experience as well as valuable stuff I find on the market. And often people could just learn from it, or that might have been their home. I try to make the most out of it right now in college, go out, have fun as well as working sometime, and then gain some experience.
You have to marry to Chinese also? No.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know, sometimes you have Chinese, you have to be married to...
married. Oh, like the culture?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, well, now it's more open up than compared to before. Alright fam, out here in Del Mar Heights today with this beautiful property with all the view you get in this world. Literally. Different than La Jolla, and it's a modern luxury home. Glad to have this opportunity to show it. Let me know what you guys think. So just by starting vlog and building up closer relationship, you know that I walk to most of the property and get ride or get Uber or public transportation. So I could truly tell you if the street is walkable or not, because the property I just visited out in Del Mar earlier on Del Mar High on the hill, it's not so walkable in the community, but the view was great, definitely. The whole entire building, everything was great, and it will be on the channel for sure. But I just want to tell you that when you get the closer connection, especially me showing you how I take transportation to a certain property, I show you how the community is and how the surrounding is along with the neighbor, because so much time by looking at the house picture, you miss out so much detail and information where I could verbally explain it and show you visually. Like by showing you the true aspect of Del Mar, you probably don't have much sidewalk for most of the houses, most of the neighborhood, because it's all people front lot and that's all you might see. And which why you see there's so much different in every single property in terms of the way of their planning style were made and how they are. And not gonna lie, Del Mar do have a lot of home that is luxury on sale that they need to fix up and remodel, because it's been a very long time since they sold these homes and they're like probably the first owner. If you live in Del Mar in the luxury area without a car, you're gonna be having a long day walking up the hill as well, finding restaurant. And one thing I realized when houses are on sale, they often sell out the whole entire street because one person want to move out, the rest want to move out because they see the price they could sell at, and they learn it, and they think their property could sell the same. But oftentimes you got to see different property condition and different home style brings in attract different customer as well. And by me vlogging as a real estate agent, I show you the more authenticity of the other side, where I come from bottom up, where I literally have to travel property in so many different route or ways, and I don't make the easy bucket money just by opening a couple doors like what you guys talk about most agents do. I do so much more work behind the scenes, such as researching, finding a property location, building up the community, keeping it updated with all type of different information, and often traveling to so many different locations where you could potentially get to interact and see all the way across the country, because that's what's great about social media and the internet, because it gives you access on a world that isn't 3D dimensional, where it's a whole new place and you can meet whole new people, whole new different type of houses you see, and just a lot of different stuff you could find and see instantly with a snap of a finger. Like sometimes seeing different home, probably can't see much of it unless I explain it. You just see from your perspective, but if you could get my opinion on the houses, it might change your point of view. When I'm vlogging myself, I tell you my first true authentic review of the home, as well as how I feel of it, because some of the house I walk in, I instantly feel like, nah, this is not it. Although I still show my client or customer, but at the end of the day, you will have to see comparison, and you see my day-to-day, the difference, and just imagine you doing such a huge deal. For example, this house, $2.5 million. You think you could trust someone that you barely met like today, rather than someone you know for a year that you've been watching over time, how he grew, how he spent his time checking out so many different houses, and he know the market well because he know how to compare different home and knowing the different value that each house has, such as the specific feature and the highlight of each home. For example, this home, you have this huge glass door connected out to the pool paradise, and then you have your view. Like, there's different value, and plus personal branding is important to me too. I think that because if I'm the person that representing a customer, I can negotiate for them, or I'm representing a seller, maybe I'm adding extra value because I am selling the home and I'm a knowledgeable person that I know how to get the right price and maybe knowing the right investment, because experience builds up everything. And the more experience you have, the more you have to say, and the more authentic you are, the more legit you are, the more trustworthy you are. And simply just building up all this transparency, me showing all these houses and going through the process of checking out different home and then seeing different property and then giving different response from my end, maybe that help you build up your knowledge too, because you're more than just a home buyer, home seller. You also want to learn the process, so eventually you don't fall into a trap in case you're working with someone else, and then you just got to know the thing clear well enough. And hopefully I could be someone that could educate you and guide you through the process, because that will be a win at the end of the day. And even better, because I am the person that spreading all this info and then giving out all the extra info, such as building out my Instagram community. Often people that follow me, they get the first hand on news, such as newer listing price or newer detail of certain home or the market. How is it going? What my opinion, what my takes, the current market. It might affect someone's decision or give someone a value to go based off. So you do have something to think of, rather than going into a blank, empty market and just getting approached, getting a co-sale by an agent, just telling you this house is all that, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes they might not be authentic, because some people need to make the money for a living. And I get it. I understand, like, doesn't want to make money, right? But sometimes making a decision for someone else, it will be beneficial for you and the other person, because obviously you get referral and customer client that come back to you. And at the end of the day, it's all about being authentic, transparency, and that's how you build up a perfect legal best business in the real estate world, in which why vlogging will be the best way to change up everything. Just like Ryan Serhant, he tells so much story just from vlogging his sales, because when he vlogs, he goes his day-to-day life where he prepared a day a night before. But me, I prepare my day like a week before. Sometimes I learn a lot of different stuff. It's more than just learning about selling houses, real estate field, real estate agent day in the life. It's way more than that. And there's a lot of small detail you could learn from each different agent that vlogs. And yes, it's a beautiful house out here in Del Mar. And like I said, you got houses down the whole entire street on sale. And just like that, I'm done showing house, and now I gotta head out to do classes online, luckily. And just being truly authentic about everything. I literally come home and I gotta go straight jump right into class. because oftentimes I have to do double amount of work and double amount of time. Like at the same time, there's a lot of Asian by the time they finish touring this or touring that, probably go out, grab some lunch, have a quick drink from like so whatsoever. They probably living a good lifestyle, which I can't afford to have just yet at the moment. And I simply still got to do college, like I say, because eventually I want to go into development maybe, because this is cool. You're building something tangible and physically that you could see it with your eye and vision it. And which why I think vlogging is so important. It's also like a way to document my whole entire journey and look back like years later on, you see how much changes I've seen and how much of the market I see. Because oftentimes we only look back in data, but we don't see a physical look of it. So for example, a house from like whatever, it could be in a good condition even till this day if we have video of it rather than just data. Because by data, there's a lot of prediction and assumption, which what we learn in analysis, where oftentimes stuff isn't what it is, because the net present value could be much different in terms of the return ROI you get from the property. But now I gotta head out to class. And as always, we are in Zoom with Sustainable Study Urban Planning, I guess, whatever you want to call that. It's insane how I'm here before the host, even though I got showing going today, show houses and all of that. And I mean, the class started too, so makes sense. I'm all the way on time and early. Gotta be different. And when I was vlogging like first property, it was really cool that I would get to meet the Asian herself, and then we had some chat about a property and learning everything. I tell her how I do virtual tour and I show people all the way across from the world, because what if this was the right location for you and you never knew until I show a virtual tour online where you could see and browse, because not much people might have access with Zillow out of foreign state or out of the country, anywhere else. But me having YouTube or any other channel that I posted on like media, they could have seen it there, made a decision that changed their life and moved to the city of San Diego or moved to anywhere else that I might have been doing a blog or showing them how it is. Because if they see the true lifestyle I have in the location, in the local, in the city around, they might get a whole new set of a different point of view if they want to move to this location or not. And yup, I have extra work to do as always. Like I have to do double amount of work to keep up with school and then real estate at the same time, but that's the hustle lifestyle I got. So you can trust me with all the work, honestly, I'll say, because I'm willing to put in the double amount of effort, be there on time, and be outstanding gorgeous. And learning about heat, you know, we gotta do more research, but learning about heat and urban planning is a huge topic too. Not gonna lie, 3-hour class is often way too long, and maybe I'm just so tired regularly where people just attend class while I go show some houses, do some touring, and get extra work done before I go to class. So I just got done with some reading of the Steve's Drop out here on the rooftop. Absolute amazing view, and just honestly keeping up a day in the life of every single day, or just even every once in a while checking in as a vlogger or even as a real estate agent, it brings me closer with my client or whoever. Like people can connect me directly and message me on such one video or the other of how it is. And just like one of the other point I mentioned before, if you were making this such a huge deal, like buying a house is, because you're putting all your life saving and almost everything you have, and you have to trust an agent that do the transaction for you and represent you. You obviously want someone that you've known for a while and someone that you're trustworthy, because with the credibility of vlogging and documenting the whole entire journey, you saw how I come from nothing and building up a whole business empire. And then later on, I could feel more connected with people that just message me directly throughout my social media platform, or people that have something that we are both interested in together. Because that's how humans are, and that's the point of having social media, is to build up connection. And that's why you see LinkedIn, people want to connect with each other and do the networking stuff, which is why it's so important. Us, we need to get more connected in such a way, through a way of vlogging, because most of the real estate agent, it's either they only spam mail you or cold you or just send you a bunch of random stuff, but there's no directly connection between you and the agent. So for example, if I'm into a certain sport, like pickleball right now, it's very popular. If you and I were going out to play pickleball, we would have some conversation to talk about, because we know we are both into pickleball and we want to talk about real estate, or maybe grow our business, or maybe investing in property, or even potentially buying or selling a home, because there's just so much opportunity laying out there, and it's so important that we stay connected. And then there's a way for me to keep update 1,000 of people, because eventually
if I have so much fan base, for example, I have tons of thousands of people I have to check up, maybe prospecting every single day. If I have to make sure I reach out to every single one of them, I think video and vlogging is the best way, because one video I make, I could talk to thousands of people, and anyone who feel like interacting, they could always comment, DM me directly, and it's just always about that easy way and making things most efficient for you and I. And at the end of the day, it's always about documenting everything in your life and sharing your lifestyle. And that's the wrap for today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.